Hello, I'm Callum Dilietto, and this is a very special edition of the Flock Together podcast in partnership with M&I, where we'll be talking to hoteliers. And I am joined by Victoria.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
We're here at the Shangri-La, the Shard, London, but you are with Hilton Group.
I am. I recently joined Hilton, the Hilton luxury brands part of the business. So we have 5 luxury brands within the 24 brands, and I'm responsible for the worldwide sales team in the EMEA region.
Amazing. Yeah. And luxury hotels are what are my passion.
Yes, likewise.
Which I think is a bit of an easy passion to have, to be honest. Like, oh, you're passionate about staying in lovely hotels, are you? Oh, what an odd thing to enjoy. But yeah, I've been fortunate enough to stay at a few of the Hilton luxury brands as well. And I think the most recent would be the Conrad in Las Vegas, which was great. It was a very beautiful newer addition to the Strip.
What's really exciting, we've got new hotels opening constantly. Yeah. Just in the time that the 4 months I've been with the company, we've opened multiple Waldorf Astorias, LXR Paris, and the pipeline's very strong. So it's a good time to be with Hilton Luxury Brands.
Yeah. But what was the first ever hotel that you worked with?
The first ever hotel I worked with was starting, very much at the top with the Dorchester on Park Lane. So I left university and I joined the events team there, working under the supervision of Zoe Jenkins. She was the banqueting manager. And I remember looking at the menus and just thinking, how on earth do people pay this much for their dinner menu? But obviously soon became accustomed to that pricing and have continued ever since. And funnily, I worked then again very closely with Zoe at the opening of Coworth Park several years later. So
the Dorchester, I remember going to see behind the scenes, like in the kitchen and the chef's table and things like that. And I remember the most impressive thing about it is that a lot of other hotels behind the scenes, they don't make an effort with the decorations. I don't know, my first ever job at a hotel, I remember we'd go behind the scenes and it was like chipped paint and a terrible calf and all of this, but it felt like they made just as much effort for the staff as they do for the guests.
Yeah, and we would take guests on a site visit round to the back of the house so that they could see that. You might remember the escalator that goes down in the kitchen to the chef's table. So yeah, it was part of a site visit.
And what was the last hotel that you stayed in?
So the very last hotel I stayed in was the Hampton by Hilton in Bath City with my 18-year-old who just finished her A-levels. So it was sort of a one-night girls' weekend away. But prior to that, in a more luxurious setting, I was very happy to visit the Saks Paris, which is the latest LXR hotel to open. And LXR is like a collection of hotels, very individual in style. And that hotel recently opened in the 7th arrondissement. So beautiful courtyard garden, more boutique in style. So
I like the contrast of the two, though.
Yes, exactly. And that's the thing with Hilton. I'm only focusing on those luxury brands, but there are lots of different brands for different occasions.
Well, this is it. The next part of the podcast is revisit.
Yes.
So if you could go back in time and relive a destination experience, where would it be?
That's a really tough question to think about because I've just spent 6 years living in the US, living in New York, and as much as possible exploring, the fantastic landscapes of America. And it's really tough to choose between Alaska or Hawaii, 2 completely different holidays, but fantastic road trips and really very memorable. And either one of them, I'd love to go back.
Where in Hawaii? Which island?
We did several islands, so from Maui to the Big Island and also Kauai.
Yeah. I did a few. I did Kauai, and I was like,
I think that was my favourite.
It's the oldest island, isn't it? So I think that's the one where the earth has rippled and then foliage has grown over that. Whereas like the Big Island is like the volcano is still erupting, so it's almost like going from Mars to going to like Jurassic Park. It's 2 very different. But
and a good big shout out to the One Hotel, really fabulous property there, right on the ocean.
Yeah, but then Alaska, completely opposite. I haven't had a chance
Exactly.
to see that.
No luxury hotels, but just, really good, authentic places, from glamping next to a glacier to more of a sort of ski resort, to a national park lodge. But the scenery is amazing. And the wildlife as well, from bears to whales, and really great.
Yeah, like the picture I have in my head, I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, you should get out there.
Definitely. If you could make any hotel a home, which hotel would it be?
I think it would be Nomad London.
Ah.
So based in Covent Garden at this point, with new openings to come, but the whole sort of feel is very much like you're in someone's home. So to me, that feels like it could be my home, and just a sort of quite eclectic decor, and really fantastic views from a lot of the rooms and suites over to the Royal Opera House. I'm a big ballet fan, so that speaks to me.
Yeah, Covent Garden is just a great location
Yes.
for things. Like, it's just, you can just,
In the heart of everything.
It really does feel like the heart of London. Obviously, Hilton is a vast collection of hotels, but if you could pick a hotel that's not in the Hilton, under the Hilton umbrella, and bring it in, which hotel would it be?
Good question. I think what we're missing in the Hilton luxury brands at the moment is the English country house offering. And obviously for groups and incentives, that's really interesting. So I would like to select Chewton Glen and Cliveden and bring them in. I think those are fabulous hotels for both individuals and for groups. Yeah.
Yeah, I recently went to the iconic party in Cliveden, and it was very iconic. They had James Martin cooking, and there was nice barbecue around the pool, and those properties do have something very unique about them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good choice.
Yes. I hope someone's listening to for my request there.
The next part of the podcast is reimagine.
Yes.
So if you could plan an incentive trip for yourself, where would you go, what would you do, and which celebrity would accompany you?
So I've been thinking that the Seychelles is somewhere that I would feel very incentivized to win a trip to go to. And just thinking about incentive trips and the need to really think carefully about what is going to appeal to a winner, because obviously that's the whole purpose of an incentive trip. And time is so precious. I mean, really, out of all the commodities, time is the most valuable. So to be able to perhaps go to the Waldorf Astoria, Seychelles, Platte Island, perhaps learn, a new skill, like take your PADI license. That's something that I, would never normally find the time to do, to reconnect with nature, see the turtles, spend some time cleaning up the beach, all these sort of things that I think would be quite restorative spiritually as well, to be there.
Yeah.
And
then which celebrity would you have with you?
I think George Clooney, always a favourite, always a favourite. In my first role at the Dorchester, I remember somebody coming back up to the events office and saying, "Oh, I just saw George Clooney in the lobby," and just being, wow,
Yeah.
So
he is, apart from the obvious charm of him, I think he just seems like I would like
a
to
nice
hang around
guy.
with him. He seems like
Yes.
really cool.
Yeah.
I think he's he's clearly got some humour about him, but in a very chilled, kind of relaxed way. And I feel like, yeah, he would be a good person in the Seychelles.
Yeah. Funnily, his wife went to the same school as me, but 2 years younger. So I was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
He just missed out.
I know. As my husband said, I'm not a rights lawyer, so I missed out too.
Well, it's a sliding doors moment. That's how it is, you know. But yeah, maybe an alternative reality. You're in the Seychelles with George Clooney.
Yeah.
The penultimate part of the podcast is reform. So this is your chance to write a letter to the industry. What would your letter be?
So we've been thinking a lot about this from our side, and one of the projects that we're working on is the Hilton Incentive Collaborative. So we have handpicked 100 hotels, the luxury and upscale products that we have in incentive-friendly and popular destinations, and getting all those hotels to agree to a set of terms and conditions and to really think about what incentive experiences they can offer and be custodians to their destination. Obviously, we can work with great DMCs that might be experts in a country, but a hotel is really the expert in their neighbourhood. So we've really been working on that to be able to support our clients. But one of the things that we'd really love support on from the other side perhaps is just greater transparency in terms of where we ask questions about how likely is this piece of business. We'd really love to know if an agency is pitching for this business, or whether they, how secure are they in actually placing it. Are we up against multiple destinations? Are we up against, hotels that are so widely different to the hotel that we've put forward? Just because that really then helps us in terms of managing our hotel's expectations, the forecasting, the P&L, ultimately the team members, working hours and therefore their income.
Yeah, it always feels like transparency it gets brought up from both sides quite often, and I do think for one reason or another it kind of fluctuates. I feel like there are points in the industry where everyone is very open and honest and collaborative, and then there are points that maybe not maliciously, but they are maybe kind of being a bit less open about things, and it's usually because of external pressures of some reason or another. But I do think that many hotels that I've spoken to have said that they wish they could just have a little bit more clarity, a little bit more transparency on the likelihood of this business.
Exactly.
Because
and everyone's busy,
yeah,
and everybody has time restraints, but I think that just in the spirit of building that partnership, we all know that some pieces of business are more likely to transpire than others, and to be open about that.
So the last part of the podcast is a series of quick-fire travel preferences.
Okay, let's do it.
So, packing, last minute or week before?
Last minute, normally about an hour before the taxi comes.
I'm the same.
I hate it.
Yeah, and I've missed Ubers because they've had to wait too long.
Okay, I've never done that.
Yeah, they were like, no, I'm sorry, because it used to be a 10-minute window, and now it's a 5-minute window, and I didn't know that. So that literally, I was like, oh. Carry on or check in?
As much as possible, carry on.
Yep. Airport lounge or shopping?
Lounge if I can.
Aisle or window?
Aisle, always.
Oh, you're
always, absolutely
determined with that answer.
Yeah, I always want to be able to go to the loo when I want to.
Yeah. City or nature?
All difficult, nature, but with a 50-50. That's a difficult one.
I can really feel the...
Yeah, that's really difficult.
Yeah. Lay-in or early start?
Early start when you're in nature to maximise the chance of seeing wildlife, etc.
But lay-in when you're in the city. Fair. Poolside or seaside?
Poolside. Cleaner.
No sand.
No sand, exactly.
And then finally, planned or spontaneous?
I'm a bit of a planner, I'm afraid. I have an itinerary for especially on a road trip, you need that. Yeah, fair. I mean, in this industry, most people would say that. I, on the other hand, I'm just like, wing it to the disdain of anyone that's travelling with me. Right.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to be on the podcast, and it's been an absolute pleasure hearing your stories.
Thanks very much.